Hi, everyone. Anne O'Connell here with OC Publishing, and welcome to today's author journey. We're mixing it up a little bit today. We have a very special guest who is going to share some insight into an organization that's very near and dear to my heart. I've been a member since I moved back home in 2016. It's the Writers' Federation of Nova Scotia. And we have with us today the Executive Director, Marilyn Smulders, who joined the Federation in November of 2017. Her other jobs have included working as Communications Director at NSCAD University, which is the Nova Scotia College of Art and Design, and she was a reporter and editor at the Halifax Daily News. Prior to that, she has a Bachelor of Journalism from Carleton University in Ottawa and a Bachelor of Fine Arts from NSCAD University as well. So I'm going to bring Marilyn up to join us and tell us all about the Writers' Federation of Nova Scotia. Welcome, Marilyn.
Welcome, Marilyn. Hi, Anne. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. Tell us how your day is going. Is it busy up there?
Yeah, it is. It has always been busy. I had an appointment at Neptune Theatre today. We're working on a series of audiobooks, and I got caught in the rain on the way back, and I'm totally drenched, but that's okay.
That's what we do.
Some of the other things I've been working on today are the events that we're planning around the Atlantic Book Awards Gala, which the gala itself is on June the 9th, and there'll be a whole bunch of readings and panel discussions and receptions leading up to that in the week ahead.
Never a dull moment. And I want to get back to maybe further discussion about some of the amazing partners who are involved with the Writers' Federation. But let's start with the basics. Writers' Federation is a nonprofit, and as I understand it, the basic philosophy is writers helping writers. So talk a little bit about sort of the overall philosophy and what people should know most about Writers' Federation.
Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. Writers helping writers, which I love that we're here to help each other, and it doesn't matter what kind of writer you are, or if you're a beginner or if you're an established writer. There's a place for you at the Writers' Fed. A lot of our programs might be for emerging writers. Like we have a competition called Nova Writes, competition for unpublished manuscripts. And it's a contest, sure, but the real beauty of that is that we get established writers to read all the entries and provide really concrete feedback on, so that the writer, even if they don't win, they can take that away, rework their manuscript. Maybe they submit it to a publisher after that, or to a journal, that kind of thing. So that's one of the programs, especially for emerging writers. We also have a program called the Alistair MacLeod Mentorship Program. This program is named for the late great writer Alistair MacLeod, who mentorship was really important to him. And when he won the Portia White Prize, which is Nova Scotia's most prestigious arts award, I would say, he donated part of his winnings to the Writers' Fed, and that got the mentorship program started. So it's 20 years now, and we're able, emerging writers can participate in the program free, and we pay the mentors, which are established writers. So we get funding through the Canada Council to be able to do that. But I think it's a very valuable experience that emerging writers can access for free. Of course, it's a very competitive process because we get maybe 30 to 40 applications to the program each year, and only 4 to 6, maybe 7 spots. But some of the writers who've gone through the program been able to see their manuscript through and find a publisher. I'm thinking of the president of our board is Sean Bedell, and his book, Somewhere There's Music, has just been published. Keenan Bigden's new book, Wonder World, was a manuscript he workshopped through the program. And there are many more examples of that. Nicola Davison's In the Wake.
So yeah, the programs that you offer, and I want to reiterate that it's this whole emerging authors, writers idea. Members, there are over 60 members, and the experience level is from just starting to several published books. And it's the really important thing to also know is these are resources available to any member, right? I want to do a shout out.
Yeah.
Yes. Jane, thanks for joining us. And anybody who's watching, as we're giving you all this information, it's like a fire hose of information. If there's a question you have for Marilyn, please feel free to post it in the comments, and we'll make sure that we get to those. So you talked about and touched a little bit on book awards. Talk a little bit about the book award. And if there's somebody who is looking for that kind of exposure, where does that, or how do they apply? And
okay, we have 5 literary awards, and they've been established not all at once through the years, through the past 45 years of the Writers' Fed. Our oldest award is the Evelyn Richardson Nonfiction Award. It was named for Evelyn Richardson, who won the Governor General's Award for her memoir, We Keep a Light, in 1945. So that's one of the awards. The other one is the Thomas Riddell Atlantic Fiction Award. It's a $30,000 prize, and it's for it's also 30 years old, and it's for the best work of fiction in the Atlantic region. Last year, Anne Simpson's book, and the title is escaping me at this moment, won. The other book is the Anne Connor Brymer Award for Atlantic Canadian Children's Literature. That's a $5,000 prize this year. And we have 2 awards for poetry. There's a J.M. Abraham Atlantic Poetry Award. And last year, we initiated the Maxine Tynes Nova Scotia Poetry Award, and that will be given out every other year. So some of the things that we do, we have an intake of books from publishers in the fall. The deadline is usually about November the 1st. And we try to get all the books that we know of in competition. They go to the jury. We set up the juries, and then the books go out to the juries over Christmas, and then the juries meet in the spring of the year. And the Atlantic Book Awards are in May, June. This year, they'll be held on June the 9th.
And so in order to apply for these book awards, are all of the applications on the Writers Federation website?
Yeah. The publishers are the ones that submit the books. So there's a form to fill out, and it's on our website. Yeah.
Excellent. So talk a little bit about the Writers in the Schools program. I love that program.
Yeah, Writers in the Schools is probably one of our oldest programs. And through that program, teachers or librarians in schools and libraries throughout the province can request a writer for their classroom. And so we set up that meeting for them and place writers. Usually they're writers who are writing for younger readers, and they come in to the classroom and talk about their craft, or they do a bit of a reading, or and they encourage writing. It is a wonderful program. We do get funding from the Department of Education and Early Childhood Education, as well as Arts Nova Scotia, and we pay the writers to participate in that program.
And you just touched on my next question. I was going to ask, other than membership, where funding comes from. You mentioned the Canada Council for the Arts, Department of Ed. What other funders or partners do you have?
Yeah, our main operating grant comes from the Nova Scotia Department of Communities, Culture, Tourism, and Heritage. So we receive a $84,000 grant, and that's really the backbone of our funding. We also receive a grant from HRM, Arts Nova Scotia, Canada Council, wherever I can. Like if we have certain programs, new programs that we're initiating, we have to find project funding for that. So I am always writing grant applications.
I have some grant writing experience, so I know exactly the stresses of that process.
Yeah.
I've been involved on a couple of different programs, and one of the newer ones is the Coffee Chat. It's new to me. I don't know how long it's been around, but talk a little bit about that, another benefit to membership.
Yeah, that's a new program that's only about 2 or 3 years old, and it came from a member suggestion, kind of like she had a question on a certain issue to do with publishing her book, and she wanted to be able to reach out to a published author and just ask a question. So we're like, hey, this is a great idea. We could set this up. We'll set up. So what it is we set up one-on-one conversations with someone who has a question and someone who has the answer. And it was named Coffee Chats, and then the pandemic came. So whether you have coffee or tea, you're really on another, it's all computer, right? Virtual so far, but hopefully we can have in-person visits again sometime soon.
I just did one. So I was the expert on a Zoom, and so thoroughly enjoyed the conversation that I'm happy to do lots of others. And it was basically a discussion about different publishing options. So I think it's a wonderful resource for the writers. Talk a little bit about upcoming workshops and programs that the writers who are watching might be interested in.
Yeah, well, we had a lot of workshops, more than 20, on the go this winter, spring, but they're really winding down now. We only have 2 that are still in progress, and that's Foundations of Fiction, which is a big 9-week fiction course, and also sci-fi and fantasy 4-week course that Julian Mortimer Smith is leading. He lives in Yarmouth. When the pandemic started, we moved pretty quickly onto Zoom as a way of facilitating workshops, and I honestly think it's been wonderful for us, and I don't think we will totally go back to in-person workshops, just because it's really difficult with our membership from Yarmouth to Sydney to serve everybody with an in-person workshop here in Halifax, and Zoom allows us to do that. So this winter we had workshops on historical fiction, children's book writing, nonfiction essay, mystery writing, landscape poetry. Really, we had an awful lot, and then we also added a professional development series, which you helped with us too, Anne, and that was called Taking Care of Business, and it was a 4-part series. We had it in the fall, and we had it this winter, and we'll do it again because it's really a dynamite series. and that's more on the business of writing. So how to get published, how to write your letter to the publisher, how do you do marketing, or how do you do social media promotion? Questions like that.
And I think it was wildly popular, and I really enjoyed participating. Bruce Bishop has also joined us. Hey, Bruce. And he's asking, are there any script screenwriters in the WFNS membership? Are there any specific programs geared to them?
We have had a script screenwriting class before. Josh McDonald did it, but we haven't had it for a while. So we can try and bring that back.
That's a great idea. And I know that Bruce is furiously working away at adapting one of his novels to script. So that's a valid question. Script writers, there are members who are script writers. Every type of writer, right?
Yes, exactly. I'm one of the Breton Hannum is one of our members, and of course he won the Atlantic Film Festival award for his film. So yes,
excellent.
We have script writers and screenwriters.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And Jane says she loved Tom Ryan's mystery writing workshop. The Zoom format worked great, and I agree. The Zoom format is wonderful. It's nothing like face-to-face, but the Zoom workshops certainly work well when you've got a membership that's spread.
Yeah, and Tom Ryan is in Cape Breton, so it's a gift that we can get him to lead a workshop for us. And I know Jane loved it, and I'm so happy about that.
I wish I could have taken it because I write mystery, but lately I certainly haven't had much opportunity to write. I'm very busy publishing one of these days. And I want to apologize, folks. I know that you're hearing an echo in my audio, and I'm not sure how to fix it. So I'm letting Marilyn do the most talk a little bit about how people become members. Like, how do you become a member of the Writers Federation of Nova Scotia?
It's easy. You can you go join the Writers Fed on our website, and then we have two levels of. You can pay $65 or you can pay $30. That's usually a student underwaged rate, but it's really if you can't afford the 65, just choose the 30, and we'd love to have you. As a member, you get the member price on our workshops and professional development. You'll hear about our programs and the deadlines coming up, and you'll receive our newsletter called Subtext, which goes out every week and includes a lot of opportunities for writers, not only here in Nova Scotia, but across Canada.
And I think that's another segue into a question or a comment that I had is the Writers Federation is for Nova Scotia writers, but do you know of similar organizations in other provinces or regions that you can recommend for people who might be watching or outside of the province?
Yeah, we are the Writers Federation of Nova Scotia, but we do take people who live elsewhere in Canada. And in fact, we've been getting a lot of other outside the province members just because of our workshops, which is allowing people from outside to participate. But there are writers federations from coast to coast. There's like there's the Quebec Writers Federation, there's Writers Fed of New Brunswick, and there's the PEI Writers Guild. Newfoundland has a really active federation. Yeah, there's Saskatchewan, Alberta.
Oh, cool.
Ontario has more of the national ones.
And then there are also like genre-specific writers groups, like the Romance Writers of Canada and things of that nature.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, and Jane is asking a question. What's the biggest challenge ensuring provincial coverage for the membership?
I think that's been really, just as we mentioned, but that Zoom has really helped with that. But not only for workshops, but for example, jury meetings, we can have jurors from the Valley, South Shore, and Antigonish together on a Zoom screen, and they can do their work together. So I see we will go back to in person, but that's been really helping. Yeah, I guess that's what we want to make sure that that people can access our programs, whether it's Nova Rights or a workshop or a professional development session, no matter where they live.
So talk a little bit about Nova Rights. I think that's a really interesting program.
Nova Rights used to be called the Atlantic Writing Competition, but then like New Brunswick and Newfoundland started their own unpublished writing competition. So we went to Nova Scotia only. So that call for submissions goes out in January, and at this point in the year, we have our short lists that have gone out, and we know the winners. So yeah, there's a lot of great writers who've started with submitting a manuscript through Nova Rights. I'm thinking of Richard Levangie, and Louise Miklos, writers like that got started. They got a little bit of encouragement and positive feedback through our Nova Rights program, and took it further. So that's great.
I think that's awesome. And that's separate from the manuscript review program, is it?
Yeah, manuscript review is a whole different program, and basically that's you're working on a manuscript and you want to get some feedback from a professional writer or editor. So we can coordinate that through the editors that we work with, and they'll provide some broad feedback on direction. Not a like they're not editing it for punctuation or grammar or anything. Yeah.
But when they finish doing that, if you like what their suggestions are, you can always hire them, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. You can. Yep.
So I think, the real overarching theme here again is the writers helping writers. It's a collaboration of like-minded people, a group that is I think extremely valuable. Addition to sort of the writers community. And WFNS has been around for how many years? It was founded in 1976, so it's not
exactly
new.
Yeah. Nope.
So do you have any, I know again with the echo here, it's kind of hard to hear what we're both saying, but do you have any final input or information, anything that we haven't covered that you want people to be aware of?
Yeah, I think we have some exciting news, but we're not ready to go with it yet. But as soon as we are, we're going to make an announcement and have an announcement, and we're over the moon about this. This is going to really add to the things that we offer writers in Nova Scotia. So stay tuned.
Oh my goodness. That's very exciting. And talk about a cliffhanger. Well, and you know what? There's so much to offer that, it's a good time is now to join the Writers Federation. If you're a writer out there and you're looking for a supportive group, some encouragement, some really solid resources, writing workshops, we strongly recommend that you take a look at the Writers Fed website. And I want to thank you, Marilyn, for joining us today, and look forward to hearing your news. Oh my goodness. As soon as I know what it is, I'll certainly post it everywhere.
Thank you so much.
So we'll see you soon. And that's all the time we have for today. And again, I apologize for the audio echo. I have a feeling it's because I'm using a different audio system, but we'll say goodbye for now, and we'll see you again next time on the author journey. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful day and happy writing.